So it is done. Yesterday I finally went ahead and kind of made the decision. Well, when I say we kind of finally went ahead as a family and made the decision to go to Canada next year in 2024. One of the reasons for the trip to Canada next year for us as a family is me having put the RBC Gran Fondo Whistler on my bucket lists of events to do. And so yesterday I sat down at the computer, made the decision, bought the ticket, signed up for the Forte event, which is the 152 kilometer event, the longest one. So it's done. And so the idea here is to document my journey towards the event in terms of, kind of cycling fitness training, but also kind of travel preparation. Today is October. I don't even know what day it is. Which date it is today. It's somewhere in October in 2023. I'm on my way to the coast here in Belgium for a kind of cheeky two-hour-ish gravel ride, and I'll be taking you along and kind of chatting to you about how I see this preparation, where I am kind of fitness-wise, what my history is with cycling. So yeah, excited and looking forward to taking you along. I'm kind of now, again, it's October, kind of easing my way back into some form of more structured cycling. Nothing too serious. Just kind of preventing the fitness to fall completely off a cliff. Last year, kind of finished with two events, one in August and one in September. The August one was a Marmot event in Switzerland, in Verbier, serious climbing event, 133 kilometers and about 4,500 meters of climbing. The event went really well. My fitness was good, and then I actually added another layer of fitness for the Gran Fondo La Charlie Gaulle in Luxembourg, which is a pretty well-known Gran Fondo here in the Benelux area. It also attracts a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of kind of what we call elites without contract here, so people who ride their bike a lot faster than I do. My fitness there, the performance on that day for me was the best I ever did. I have a very little cycling background. I have a footballing background for a long time, which I then stopped due to knee injuries and whatnot. Didn't do an awful lot of endurance sports. I didn't do any endurance sports for, probably 10-15 years. And then the classic story, in the COVID period, started picking up cycling and really kind of got into it. And especially loved the training aspect of it, working towards a goal, preparing towards that goal. And it's actually the preparation that I enjoy more than actually doing the goal itself. Don't get me wrong, I love it when performance actually shows up on the day and the legs show up on the day. That's all great, but it's the path towards it that I really enjoy. Now, what are my ambitions for the RBC Gran Fondo? I kind of been looking at the results, kind of looking at how the event unfolded last year. If I can get my fitness to where I would like it to be and where I hope I can get to, it's essentially another 12 months away. On the Forte event, and again, I don't really know the course, so I'm gonna if I'm being super ambitious, if I'm gonna set the bar high at top 10, maybe, but maybe that's wildly unrealistic. I have no idea. In any case, what I do want to do is go to that event and put down the best power that I've ever put down in a race, which I guess is going to be a race for me of around 5 to 5.5 hours. I have no idea really how the road towards it is going to look like. That's kind of part of this series as well, is kind of just figuring out how we're going to structure this. There's a couple of ideas in my head. One of the most concrete ones is actually also participating in the Tour de Victoria, which is on Vancouver Island, which is on August 17th. So the idea would be to fly in that week, hopefully have a little bit of time to get rid of the jet lag, find some legs, do that event, because we're only going to be in Canada. I mean, it's not like we're going to go every year, so we're going to try to make the most of it. And on the tail end of the month that we're going to be there, do the RBC, and then really kind of be firing on all cylinders by then. So that's kind of the thinking for that period, which is essentially already when the fitness has to be there. If it's not, then when the fitness will be what it will be, then that's what we'll have to work with. Everything leading up to that, it's obviously a long period. There's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, I have a family. I have a 4-year-old, so it's not like I can just go off, participate in any event, any old event I feel would suit. I have a business which I run together with my wife as well, so obviously there's quite a few commitments to be mindful of. So we'll kind of have to see. One of the thinking, there's a few things in my head, and I'll inform you about that. For sure, there'll be training sessions, blocks of training in the Ardennes, one of my favorite areas in Belgium. That's where we can get some some good climbing in, which will be necessary for those events as well. So we'll definitely be taking you along. And for sure already is what kind of we're doing today is kind of these winter months. I'm going to say, October, November, probably December as well, is essentially is just a gravel bike, just kind of maintaining some fitness, doing some hours on the bike. Probably structure is going to come back with intervals at some point, but just a gravel bike. That's kind of the idea. There's not much more to it. I mean, there's going to be more to it than that, but at this moment, I haven't gotten more specifics. So today, we're going to go for a 2-hour ride. I did 2 or 3 indoor rides of about an hour, and then some gym work. In the winter time, I always kind of hit the gym, do some strength work, upper body, lower body. But anyway, I'm hoping you'll get some value and some enjoyment out of watching these videos, out of kind of following along on the journey. I hope you'll also get better at talking to camera without ums and ahs all that much. Let's make sure we get down to the coast in one piece, and let's jump on the bike. We've made it to the coast. We're all set on the bike. We've got a 2-hour route lined up. So let's go. Quite windy, but beautiful fall day. Sun is shining, so let's have some fun. It's approximately 11 months away from the target event that this series is actually all about. It's obviously a bit complicated to go gung-ho on training, right? But I gotta say, just kind of having the ticket booked, having my confirmation come in by email yesterday is super exciting. It's actually, kind of marks it into the agenda. It's done, and it changes the vibe of actually riding on the bike, at least for me. So really super excited about that. Got a glorious tailwind now, as you do when you drive away or when you ride away from the coast in Belgium, at least most of the time. And I've ridden here many times because my brother-in-law lives here, but I've always ridden here on the race bike. And this is the first time I'm actually riding in this area on the gravel bike, and it's a route that I've never tried before.
and it's gorgeous. I mean, this is a road like kind of on my doorstep. I mean, not my doorstep, on my brother-in-law's doorstep, and completely unexplored. So really enjoying this so far. In terms of numbers, where are we actually with these autumn rides? Well, I think my FTP at the time of the last event would have been around, I'm gonna say 270. Well, I mean, I did a 10-minute effort right out the gates of about 292 watts to start the race. Fresh legs. So let's say maybe the FTP is going to be 275, 280, right? I think that won't be too far off. But since then, I've done very little riding. I've done a lot of eating, the odd beverage. So I'm going to say that the FTP would have dropped to about 250, 260. Then essentially, so like I said, 250, 260 FTP, which means that now these rides in the fall audit for me, I mean, they're going to be endurance rides most of the time, pedaling easy, 160, 170 watt. You know, that's what it's going to be. And then we're going to see what we're going to do with the schedule. We're going to see how we're actually going to fill all this in, and then we're going to, you know, start building up. But now it's just a case of just kind of almost kind of letting the fitness sit. I use the Strava premium account, so I really enjoy that fitness thing they've got where you can see your freshness and whatnot. So that kind of works well for me. So the last couple of days this week, I've kind of started riding again a bit more properly, a bit more seriously, but nothing what it's going to need to be. So yeah, I'm kind of seeing my fitness kind of dropped off quite severely. And now it's kind of like plateauing, but plateauing in a good way. So we're gonna just stick to those rides. We're gonna keep putting the efforts in the gym. I do get a lot of benefit out of that, especially lower body, but also upper body. You know, if you're doing a lot of climbing, back strength and stuff like that, quite important. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be doing some efforts, of course. Not sure what they're gonna be looking like, but we'll see. Let's enjoy this ride. Well, you do come across some interesting artifacts as you cycle along paths previously unknown. Check this out. This is actually I'm gonna guess, a bunker from the World War, and I'm not sure which one it actually is. It's the First World War or Second World War, but look at that. That is pretty cool, right? And I think you can actually go inside. How mad is that? I mean, I've seen a lot of these, you know, while you're driving around with the car. I've never seen one of these so up close. Pretty cool. Okay, we're back in the car. We're all washed up, we're all showered up, we're all freshened up, and we're ready to go and join the family to spend the rest of the day. I'm sorry I had to switch to the phone because my GoPro battery died. We live and learn. Okay, 2 hours in the bank, done and dusted with the ride, done and dusted with this first video as well. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you can follow along for the ride. Hit the subscribe and like button here, and then I'll catch you in the next video where we will be talking about many things in relation to the prep for the ride, for the Fondo, and how it all intertwines with day-to-day life. All right, see you soon.